Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and today I'm doing a discussion over the Quacks of Quedlinburg, the Alchemists expansion. Now, this is going to be, one of two discussions I'm going to do over the expansions to Quacks of Quedlinburg. And this is one that I still have the box for. So, Quacks of Quedlinburg, the Alchemists, is a relatively smaller expansion. Now, between the two, this one and the Herb Witches, this one is the more complicated of the two, I think. And the one that has kind of the more content. And overall, I like this expansion. I think it is a great expansion in terms of what it brings to Quacks as a game. However, this is one of these rare instances, and I've had a few of these, where Quacks is such a simple game that's tons of fun. I think Quacks by itself, as base game, is a ton of fun, albeit a kind of obviously random push your luck kind of game, that I think the Alchemist overcomplicates. So it's one of those things that the expansion is good, but do I like it for Quacks? Because there are games with with expansions that it's like, oh, this is amazing. Yes, more content. But Quacks has never been one of those games that I've been like demanding more content, because you get enough in the game. You get tons of different sets of chits, so you can either follow the set or just mix and match and just see what happens, and then just see how that combos off. Like, I've played the first set many times trying different strategies. Literally, the last time I played, I was teaching people, and I just went, the first set, I just did pumpkins and mushrooms. That's it. Because the mushrooms went further for each pumpkin you had. So if I had a bunch of pumpkins in my cauldron, every mushroom just went further. And I just did that. And it was like, oh, okay, 35. And that was super fun. There's others, if you see someone go for one of the black crow skulls, and you're like, oh shit, okay, I'm going to go for that. And you guys start competing for who can get the most black to move your droplet up more. That's set one. And you can play multiple times and get different strategies. But the Alchemist expansion is like, yeah, this is really good, but you've kind of muddied up the simplicity and made Quacks a fun party-esque game into a more kind of strategic game. And I'm sure that works for a lot of people. For those that didn't like Quacks, because it was like, oh, it doesn't really matter what happens. Oh, cherry bomb, cherry bomb, cherry bomb. Okay, I exploded. There was nothing I could do. Well, one, that could still happen regardless of which expansion you're playing with. But if you wanted a more methodical kind of maybe like have more thought into what you want to put in your bag, then the Alchemist does it. So let's talk about what it brings. So the Alchemist, now you have patience. And the patience, you'll draw a certain number of them, and they will be out for you to try and cure. These aren't all of them, these are just some. So you can have someone with witch's hump, earworm, carrot nose, or chicken eyes. That is horrifying. Yeah, I'd shoot that dude in the face. But everyone has this board, this potions board, that now a new phase gets added called the Essence phase. And you have a track, and basically, before scoring, you check how far you go up on your Essence. And your Essence goes up for each different colored chit in your cauldron, and if your cherry bombs equaled 7, and if your neighbors, if their cauldron exploded. So the further up this track you get, the essentially better off. But let's take earworm, for example. So earworm, let's say this was a patient. You'll have a certain number out, and everyone will have their cards. So it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm playing yellow, which I would never do. I'm not even going to use that as an example because that's an atrocious color. Whichever one shows earworm for me first, that's the color that I'm playing. None of them. They're all on the back. So earworm is a certain card. So if that's the one that you're doing, that's the cauldron treatment card that you have on your board. So basically all earworm does is you take the number of chips indicated on your essence from your bag and place them in your cauldron. So let's say on my turn I had 4 different colored chips and my cherry bombs equaled 7 so that means I'd go up to 5. Well, then 5, you just follow the tube down, and that actually lets me draw 3 3 chits from my bag and place them out. That's all Earworm does. And, well, some of them actually, like, let you move your rat tail forward, so give you a little bit more of a bump. But theoretically, all Earworm is supposed to do is get you a little bit further on your own track. And everyone can, like, multiple people can do the same treatment. And these are the ones that are out for the entire game. And there are, I think, 8. Yeah, there's 8 different patients. So, like the one, you can go for Carrot Nose, which is at the start of the game, you actually start with 1 more carrot. And then the preparation phase, you may reduce your essence by 2 spaces and place the pumpkin you've just drawn on the next ruby space. So, now a lot of other abilities allow you to, because your essence doesn't go down to 0 until the next essence phase. So the Earworm is kind of immediately there. But for Carrot Nose, let's say you get to the same spot, you get to 5. Well, now as you're drawing chits, you can actually spend some of that essence. So for Carrot Nose, you can reduce your essence by 2 spaces and place the next pumpkin, the pumpkin you've just drawn, on the next ruby space. So you draw a pumpkin, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm on 5. I'm going to spend 2 of that, go down to 3, and then place, oh, hey, the next ruby space is on 18. And instead of going 1, next, because the pumpkins only have a value of 1, now you go all the way up to 18. And that's what Carrot Nose does. But the card for Carrot Nose, some of them are blanks. So not a lot of them. Like if you only get to the 2 section for Carrot Nose, you don't get an ability. If you don't get to the 4, the 6, you don't get anything because you have to reduce it by 2. The even numbers are more powerful for you because you get 1 extra use. So that's essentially what the Alchemist expansion brings. I think it's cool. I think it adds, a lot of variety, but at the same time, you don't necessarily get a build that you want, because to go up on your essence track, you now have to buy from every single color. You want variety in your bag, because that's how you get your essence up further. And I think, again, that kind of takes away from it. That might not matter a whole lot if you have a certain set. Like, if a set of ingredients is out, then you might be like, oh, okay, well, I want all of these anyway. But if you wanted to do what I did with the pumpkin and the mushroom, well, my essence is never going to be high because I'm only pretty much going to be drawing pumpkins and mushrooms. So that strategy doesn't work necessarily as good. Yeah, I might get some 1 or 2 uses. Essentially 1 if I only got pumpkin and mushroom. The Carrot Nose, I could only get to a max of 2. Well, maybe 3, because maybe 4, because if I get 2 colors out and I hit 7 on my cherry bombs and my neighbor's potion explode, I can get to 4, meaning my pumpkins could be really good then. So I mean, there is still strategy to that, but you see what I mean? Like, hey, instead of just seeing what the wacky combinations you can get if you happen to draw the chits that you need from the set that's available to you, now you gotta sit there and think, okay, what patient do I want to deal with? What benefits is it gonna give me? Like, if I get all the way to 10 on Carrot Nose, that's gonna get me 5 uses for my carrots, but only 2 points. And how's that working with the sets that I have? You see what I mean? Okay, well, I guess I wanted to go for these 3 colors, but alright, I'll buy a yellow and I'll buy a purple, because if I draw them, that's going to get my essence up higher. It just kind of muddies up the game. And I feel like this expansion, more so than the Herb Witches one, kind of maybe is for people who have played Quacks every day, and maybe, people who say, this is a push your luck random game, they're like, every single chip actually has a slight textural difference, so you know exactly what you can draw. It's like, yeah, people like that. then yeah, maybe this expansion was exactly what they were needing. They needed something that wasn't just, I've seen every single set, combination imaginable. I need to give me something different. And that's perfectly fine. I think the patient thing is cool. I think the essence thing is fun. But for a game like Quacks, that it's, if you don't have the expansion, that's just kind of quick to set up. Oh, every bag already has, the chits needed in it, so let's throw some ingredients out there and let's just see what happens. Then it's like, oh, hold on, everyone. Okay, so yeah, I know I just explained. Yeah, you pull from the bag still. That's also there. Okay, now you have this potion thing. Now you have these patients. So all these patients do something different. Now you also have to take their card, and now you have to buy. It muddies up a clean, fun, quick party game. So I'm conflicted because it's like the expansion's good, and what it does is cool, and it's still whimsical and wacky. Like, oh man, some psychopath has a chicken's eye. I'm gonna kill this dude. But yeah, do you ever really want to break it out? I guess if you just want to be like, oh, let's try it with potions for a review, like I needed to do. I've had these expansions for a while. I was like, oh, okay, I really gotta get them played and get them reviewed. So here I am, and I mean that's the thing is they also add new fortune teller cards, but only 3. Like, that was weird. Well, technically, sorry, there were 3 that specifically were for this expansion. There were more that just got shuffled in, but yeah, like there were 3 that specifically applied to the Alchemist expansion. I thought that was kind of odd. It's like, oh yeah, like, yeah, you have more fortune teller cards, which is cool because that's just random events. But yeah, you had 3 that were like, hey, this specifically mentions essences or something like that. Again, maybe for ease of setup or something like that. It also adds a new ingredient, loco. I think it's called loco weed. Yeah, it's like, and they have a variable way that they move. But it's like, yeah, get this expansion if you have exhausted Quacks. Like, for sure. Like, this is a good expansion. But if you play Quacks every now and then and you haven't even played every single set, or you haven't combined sets just to see what happens, I'd stay away from it. I don't think it's worth it. And I know they have the Quacks of Quedlinburg Mega Box that comes with both expansions. I mean, yeah, I guess get it just for the sheer variety of stuff. But if you're thinking that, like, the expansions are going to kind of make Quacks the same, they don't. So, I don't know. I think if you just kind of will play it every now and then and have a good time, bring it to a party, teach it to some older people, then stick to the base game for sure. But yeah, it's good. It's a good expansion. On a scale of 1 to 10, again, it's weird. I'm going to give it an 8. I think the expansion is solid. Like, it's a lot of fun for the strategically focused minds. But it goes against the spirit of Quacks, which is weird. But yeah, still, it's good. And there's a ton of patience. Like like 8 patients is a good number. Like, if they were like, here's 15 patients, like, okay, come on. Like, at least here's a silver lining with both expansions. I can still fit everything in the base box. No insert, but they fit, and that's a good thing. So that's my thoughts on the Quacks of Quedlinburg, the Alchemist expansion. I hope you enjoyed. So let me know what you think of the expansion in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.